friends. I'm Vikant Sahay. I'm a journalist based out of Goa. It's an interesting place, and I would like to talk about my life, how I have reached Goa from my birth to this place. I was born in a place called Dhanbad. In that time, it used to be in Bihar. Now it's in Jharkhand. It's known for its coal production, and I did my schooling in a school called Dinobli School, which was very famous. Still is very famous. Then I moved out of Dhanbad and went to Delhi for my graduation. And I did my graduation and post-graduation in political science from Delhi University in Ramjas College. And later on, since I was interested in journalism, I started doing my writings from the very beginning, from second year onwards. And I got in touch with two persons who were my mentors in journalism. One was Khushwant Singh, and the other was Mr. Nikhil Chakravarti. So both of them unfortunately have passed away, but they were my mentors because they told me one thing: if you're a reporter, be a reporter always. And that is what it's ingrained in me. Second, what they told me, that if you write 30 stories a month, make sure all stories are absolutely correct, because if you do one mistake, one single mistake, people will remember you for your mistakes. So that is one thing which I have to take care of it. Then I did my journalism. I joined Mainstream, which was a 32-page magazine brought out by Mr. Nikhil Chakravarti after my post-graduation. And I was also announcer in All India Radio and a presenter with Doordarshan. I used to present a program called World of Sport, which used to come those days in 90s, early 90s I'm talking about. It is late 80s I'm talking about. And that used to come every Sunday at 4 p.m. And I used to present some of the programs there on World of Sport. And later on, I shifted to Lucknow. In Lucknow, I worked with Times of India, and I worked with Hindustan Times and ABNI. It's now called CNBC. It's part of the Television 18. And that was my journey of 7 years in Lucknow. Then I moved to Patna. And in Patna, I worked for Financial Express. And in 1999, I was selected as IV. We call it IV. It was International Visitors Leadership Program, IVLP. And that gave me an opportunity to go to US for about 27 days or 21 days, I don't remember right now, in 1999. And it opened the world for me, because I started reporting from US also. I covered the New York Stock Exchange, I covered the NASDAQ, I covered several other companies. I also wrote about how India and China are growing up economy, and that was in 1999. And it has actually turned out to be like that today. And after 4 years of working with Financial Express, then I also did some moonlighting for the BBC World Service, which was for radio as well as of television also, and did some breaking stories too. And then I actually shifted my entire focus from journalism to something called diplomacy. I joined the US government, the State Department, in the US Consul General's office in Kolkata. And I worked there for 7 years and 6 months. And that gave me a full idea of how a government functions, because I used to interact with the government of India and the government of US. So I was one of the mediatories, being since I was appointed as a political specialist, and I was covering all the political issues apart from other things which I used to do, which includes reporting, which includes meeting people from very high level to ordinary level people. And that gave me a very good outlook, and it opened quite a number of windows and vistas for me to understand how things are done in diplomacy. However, after in 2001 I joined, and that was week before 9/11. So it was quite an interesting phase for me. Soon I joined, within a week, this 9/11 took place. So, in fact, my Consul General that time, Mr. Chris Sandrolini, was very, very, lovingly he came to me and told me that nothing to worry about. It has happened, and it has, because I was deeply shocked the way the Twin Towers were brought down, because I had sat there on the windows of the world. There was a restaurant at 109th floor, having lunch and overlooking the Statue of Liberty there. So it was quite shocking for me, because I was there in 1999, and 2001 this happened. He gave me a quite of confidence to continue with this. However, in 2009, I resigned the job and joined Tata Steel as head of corporate communication there, based out of Jamshedpur. And I worked in Jamshedpur for about 2.5 to 3 years, and learnt a lot about corporate, which was never actually my forte. So I shifted here in Goa, and that's how I came to Goa in 2011 October, when I joined a private company here, and which was into mining. But unfortunately, in 2012 September, the mining closed down. So once the mining closed down, there were no work to do. So I left it, and I was jobless for about 6 months. Then I joined Ad Factors PR. That's a PR company, and I worked for them for about 6 months promoting Goa tourism. I learned a lot about Goa tourism and its how they operate. But that also did not work out, so I was jobless. So a friend of mine, Harminder Singh Kapoor, he invested some money here in Goa in a shack, and he was very kind enough to allow me to run the shack. So I ran a shack in Arambol for about 7 months, and that was a wonderful experience, I must say, because I learned a lot about Goa, how the international tourists come and how they interact with people, the domestic tourists, and I learned a lot, from dishwashing to serving to everything. I managed it. And I had a very good team of people working. They're still there. I somehow managed out time and go there and visit them, and I like going there. Then finally I joined Herald newspaper. That was July 2015, and from there I'm back to my original, so-called first love, and that is journalism. And I'm loving it. I'm learning a lot, and trying to learn from people here in Goa and acclimatize myself into this new area of journalism, that is Goa. And first and foremost, I must say that I never ever thought in my life that Goa is a place where I would be working. In fact, it's a place for a holiday. And so people do joke at me that, what are you doing sitting at the beach, doing some having some fun. But the real story is that I hardly get to go to the beach. This is the first time after about 6-7 months that I've come here, and I'm sitting next to the expanse of water. See, I get my ideas through, when I talk to a lot of people, and I move around in Goa a lot. So when people talk, I get the sense that what actually people are willing or liking or they want to know. So I try and, wade myself through the stream and generate ideas from there. It can be Twitter also, it can be social media also, and it can be conversation from various people around you. And it is all my friends, family, and interlocutors, as well as people I meet. They give me the ideas, so I'm never short of ideas. So I'm lucky that way, and I presume every journalist will have this. My day, like as an editor, it's only chasing stories. That is the first thing which comes in my mind. And also meeting my deadlines. That is most important. First thing when I get up from the bed is I get hooked onto this device, which is called mobile. And this device connects me to the entire world, entire planet. And that is I am heavily into social media, not very much into Facebook. Yeah, but yeah, Twitter is the place where I get updates every second, every minute, because in Twitter, everyone is a reporter. But the only thing is, they have to write a report in 144 characters, which is quite a task by itself, because you have to edit and convey the thought process and convey the entire story in those 144 characters, which includes space and dots and commas, everything like that. So I get my news from here, and also I check most of the newspaper online, and and now we have WhatsApp also. So we keep getting messages from different quarters, different groups, and different people. So the day and I plan my day very early. In fact, I plan my week. In US consulate, when I used to work, we used to plan it months in advance. So all those things were there. So that taught me that 7.5 to 8 years of working with the State Department in the US consulate. That taught me how to organize myself. It was extremely important, and it is extremely important to maintain time. I try my level best to maintain time minute by minute. It cannot be delayed by 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 2 minutes. I cannot afford to, because I remember a story. A friend of mine, we were there in US, in Washington, and we were told that 7:30 the car will come and pick you up from the hotel. And we stepped down at 7:28, and 7:30 they were there. This friend of mine, he was rushing, but he couldn't come down at 7:30. So we left at 7:30, and he ultimately had to hire a cab, which costed him $10 those days in 1999. And once he got the pinch of that, he realized the importance of time. So next day onwards, he was not at 7:28 and 7:25 or whatever, but earlier than the time. See, I love lying just on sofa and watching television. Uh, and my favorite programs happens to be news and somewhat cricket, because I played cricket a lot professionally also. I was in the state cricket team as a reserve player for Bihar way back in 81, 82 when I was representing, and so that is one thing. And now lately I've developed a liking for all these foodie channels because I love cooking. And on my off days, especially on Sundays, ideally I would be in kitchen and cooking a non-veg dish, which I love doing so. And that is one thing. And I'm not a very outgoing person. I hardly go out somewhere. But when I used to work here in Jolly Park, every day was a day off for me, right? And but it was work too. So I enjoyed this part also in my career, and I learned a lot here. So normally nowadays there are hardly any cricket matches being held in Goa. So I don't play regularly, but yes, the moment I get to hear that okay, there is a cricket match going on and I could be still included in the team on a Sunday or so, I would just jump on this opportunity and go and play. I still have my kit in my home and it is there, my shoes, my spikes, everything is there ready. So I just have to, use all my kit and be there on the field. Like I would go to Kampal ground and play cricket there. Uh, Study basically Amar Chitra Katha.
Okay, why?
It's a comic which has, so many mythological stories attached to it. And that helped me understand mythology in a very short term. And I have that picture right in my mind because of that. And I can remember all those mythological stories. Nowadays, we don't get those Amar Chitra Katha, and those comics are gone. One.
Why?
Because I have to learn a lot. I still make mistakes. And the more I make mistakes, the more I learn. So I can never be perfect. Nobody can be perfect. So 10 is next to impossible. Thank you so much for watching this program and giving so much time to me. I would suggest and I would request you that if you can follow brushflicks.social, that's the YouTube channel, and I'm sure you'll get to hear and know about more new personalities from Goa and also from outside in a later stage all over the world. So thank you very much for your time. I am Vikant Sahay signing off.